Yo, gamers! This is probably the fourth time I've been recording this because I keep messing it up. But thanks so much for joining us. It's called the passives reveals, but it might actually be one of the biggest drops we had so far. So it's really cool. Let's first start off with a few FAQ parts of the section we've gotten. First of all, we got the league points breakdown for the relic tiers. So this is how many points you need to unlock the next tier. We also actually got all the passive bonuses, so everything you get for free when you get a tier, no matter what relic you picked. And here you'll see how many points you will need for each tier. I'm also currently working on making a route. We're doing it tomorrow on stream. Thursday on stream. And then Friday, hopefully, I'll get the video about the early game route. I'm gonna aim for the tier 3 relics. Because I believe 3600 points is all that's currently known. So I'll try and guide you to 2000 points and we'll see how far we get. Can the rewards be bought from the Grand Exchange in the main game? It's essentially the standard cosmetics. They are purchasable in the Grand Exchange, so I'm gonna assume you get tokens for those and you can sell the tokens and then consume them to get the items. But certain rewards such as trophies will not be tradable. They also talked about titles and auras to be revealed once the league is out. I'm gonna assume those might also be the untradable rewards. Will Dungeoneering tokens... will we get more Dungeoneering tokens when completing the floor? Tokens are calculated on base Dungeoneering XP, so you will not get extra Dungeoneering tokens. What are the levels of the tools unlocked with the relic? It's basically the highest you can have currently. So it's tier 100 pickaxe, tier 100 hatchet, tier 99 mattock, and your harpoon will catch fish 5 times more likely compared to a Tavia's rod, the hero item. So not that many people have it, but 10 times more likely than a crystal rod. I honestly didn't know that Tavia's rod was that good, but very nice. And does Perfection allow you to make items that require only invention components? Yes, you're able to craft items such as weapon gizmos using components from Perfection. Alright, the meat and potatoes of today's thing will be huge. Let me remove my mouse so I'm not just spamming it, because I'm probably just throwing an arrow on the screen. So this is basically every tier you reach will unlock new relics that you can pick. You have a decision to make, but you also get some passive benefits, and we're going to talk about those right now. So tier 1, when you start up the game, you pick your first relic, boom, you immediately have this, because it costs 10 points to get there, but completing the tutorial gives you 10 points, and I believe the end of the tutorial also is pick a relic, so there you go. So you basically start off the rip with 4 times more XP, farming crops grow 5 times faster. That means, for example, herbs usually grow in 1 hour and 15 minutes, that will now just be 15 minutes. With trees and other stuff, it's of course longer, but still 5 times faster. Keep in mind that the farming relic makes it instant, so this passive might make you rethink that one. Run energy never drains. Not sure how relevant it necessarily is in RS3 with all the teleports and already the reduced run drain, but still nice. Hit chance is increased by plus 20%. This is still nice because we expect combat relics to be tier 5, and this is tier 1. Also, you can most likely only pick 1. People are speculating maybe 2 combat relics. I think only 1. But still, all your other styles, so either 2 or 3 styles, will still get this increase. So you're not completely locked out of the other styles. Archaeology shop is fully available. This does not mean you get everything in the shop for free. This does mean that you do not have to get the ranks in archaeology to be able to unlock shop slots. Because usually you start as an assistant, and then you have to do research, and you have to dig up artifacts and repair artifacts, and complete sort of missions, little story things, mysteries they're called, to be able to unlock the next tier of the shop, but everything will just be available off the rip. Souls earned from necromancy rituals are increased by 400%. This is really great for everyone who does not pick the necromancy relic, because the necromancy relic just gives you 35k souls, just fills out the entire thing. So if you're gonna play necromancy, you might want to hold off until most likely tier 5. before doing any rituals or almost any necromancy training, because you can skip the whole souls part, and otherwise you still have to do a little bit. For tier 2, you now get a 6 times multiplier. In this league, you get 4 times Thaler. Now, what is Thaler? Thaler was introduced in sort of a minigame rejuvenation update, where they wanted people to do more minigames. Unfortunately, didn't really work. People did it for a bit, but then they kind of stopped. Basically, usually in the game, every 5 minutes in a minigame, you get 1 Thaler. And if it's on Spotlight, which is there's only 1 minigame on Spotlight at a time, you would get 1 Thaler minute. This is all 4 times now. So I'm gonna assume it's still the same intervals, but you just get 4 Thaler. Every minigame, this is Barbarian Assault, so the old school players will probably semi-recognize it. There's like a new statue and stuff, but still. It had been graphically updated, I believe, with the same update. But yeah, every minigame has this stand in front of it, or next to it, or into it. And if it's on Spotlight, you have Mr. Stanley standing in there, which you can get your rewards from. If he's not there, the stand is empty, you can still click the stand, still works. Most of the items here aren't that useful though. Like here you go, Fighter Torso, of course, big item in old school. Not really good in RS3, especially with like how long it would take to get. You can still get it the regular way as well. It's not like you can only get it for Thaler, but this is sort of an option where you can pick and play the mini games you like, and then you can still get the rewards from all of them. And that also means that you could play, for example, the Spotlight. Like you want the Cast Wars armor, but you can just play it stealing creation on the Spotlight, for example. Yeah, these are basically cosmetics. Of course, we have the Void equipment as well. It's no longer good since Invention, because it's not perkable. There is better rings, so imbuing them is not useful. This is all cosmetic items. In skilling gear, these are for pouches that no one uses. I am sorry, my guys. Gloves that no one uses. We got the Master Runecrafter outfit. This will take you 8.3 hours to obtain, because it's 2,000 points. Is that worth it? Probably not. You can get them as well in the runecrafting store from farming in the Runespan. That is a slow XP method, but it's really AFK, and in the league it might just be fast enough. And then you get some extra XP. Because why not? Might be some nice AFK. Divination gear, don't buy this here. It takes like 6 hours divided by 4, like slightly over 2 hours per piece. And you get it from like caches. I think like once a day from a cache, like you're guaranteed to get one of these items. Or like once a day if you get 100 points, it's something like that. So that means like you only spend like 6 days to get the entire outfit, and it would take like 2 hours per piece here. So that's absolutely ridiculous. See the site you can unlock from the Manor Farm. So later with the advanced time spell we'll go into it, that you can get your beans relatively quick. So you don't even need this here. Spirit Gem back. You don't get enough Spirit Gems to even care. And Slayer VIP tickets is a passive that we'll talk about later. And the last thing, these are all pets. So if you would go for like the Golden Reaper title or something, like you can get the second chat, I guess this way. It's the only way to obtain it. Silverhawks are not obtainable for Iron Man, so also not obtainable in the league. Magic Notepaper is craftable with Invention as well. It's probably faster to farm your clues than do minigames for them. And there are some XP lamps to get. Might be efficient, I don't know. Keep in mind though that this is bonus experience, and I'm not sure how the league multiplier works. Because if the league multiplier counts as bonus XP, this is going to be really bad. If it's a unique multiplier, it might actually be good. Because how bonus XP works in the game, there is some in-game methods as well, but it's mostly from MTX. When you gain XP, it would consume bonus XP 1-to-1 and give you that XP directly. So let's say I'm cooking something and I get 100 XP, but I have like 10k bonus XP stacked. Then every cook I would get 200 XP, and my bonus XP would go down by 100. If the league multiplier is like its unique multiplier and can actually consume this, you can go through your bonus XP really quick, and it's actually really good. But if you get 16 times XP, and your bonus XP still gets consumed at the base level, it's basically nothing. So then that's gonna depend if this is worth it. Although I think with the amount you get, it's probably still not worth it. And a 16 times multiplier, when this is only like 4 times, right? Rare items are twice as common, so that means if a monster has a drop rate of 1 in 500, it now becomes a 1 in 250. When assigned a Slayer task, you'll be able to choose between 2 tasks. This is usually an item from the Thaler shop, the Slayer VIP ticket, but you get it for free now constantly, so it rolls twice. The 2 tasks cannot be the same target, so you have a way higher likelihood of getting something good. You can also pick between the minimum or the maximum length of the task. Basically, if you get a task, you pick the one you want from the 2 options you get. You now have 3 options with the maximum amount of monsters to kill, the minimum amount of monsters, and whatever it would have randomly rolled usually. And the last one in the tier is Slayer points, and Reaper points are times 5. I mean, Slayer speaks for itself, all the Slayer unlocks really fast. And for the Reaper shop, there are some really good things, like for example the Hydrix, which is only buyable in the Reaper shop and is used in almost all combat setups because it's used for the Amulet of Souls and the Essence of Finality, because that of course requires the Amulet of Souls and the Reaper Amulet, which both require Hydrix, meaning that for an EOF you need 3, so it's very good that you actually get 5 times the points, because it's also like you can get 1 task a day and that's it. For tier 3 you get a 6 times XP multiplier, also tier 2 if I did not mention it. All your movement abilities are 4.8 seconds shorter, meaning they're only 15.6. They only have a cooldown of 15.6. You get dive and escape by earning agility levels. I believe it's 5 for both. Surge is 10 tiles forward, from your character's facing. Escape is backwards. And you also unlock the dive ability, which is usually unlocked either bladed dive from a minigame in Lumbridge, which I forgot what it's called. Really bad, my bad. But you can look it up on the wiki. And dive is from the Succession quest, I'm pretty sure. Dive is essentially search, but you can point where you go. So you click the keybind and then you click somewhere around you within 10 tiles. You'll instantly dash to the tiles, so really convenient. Tier 4 is an 8 times XP multiplier. Rare items are 4 times more common, so even better. Everything on your Toolbelt is unlocked. I'm just gonna assume that literally everything is unlocked. But we don't know how exactly, I guess. Because, for example, you have your primal pickaxe here and you have your pickaxe and your hatchet here, right? And later on also your mattock. I'm gonna assume these are just bronze, because you can literally like put any non-augmented item in here and it counts as this item. If it's augmented, you will have to wear it, just as in ye old school. But yeah, most of the basic tools like hammers, chisels and stuff are in your inventory passively. Same as the clue items like the map and the sextant. You got a mastered thief lock which you can unlock, which is probably just going to be permanent in the league. Same with like the stethoscope for safe cracking. Other things, you got a grappling hook permanently. Stuff I don't know. You got your nose wand for hunter. Infernal puzzle box is usually from the Wildy content. This was sort of like an item that went through all the updates we got in a year. And it kept upgrading, like it got an update, a bonus with every update if you played the update. I believe it's fully unlocked, like you get all the passives for free. So that would be here. Fishing gear, your crafting molds, you get your farming stuff. Magic secateurs from Fairy Tale Part 1, that gives you some more herbs when harvesting. Magic watering can from Fairy Tale Part 3, which gives you infinite watering charges. We have the Slayer items, like for gargoyles. These are salt bags, infinite salt bags. Ice, this is for the Zygamites. Explosive shaker. That's for like the swimming mogres. Some mermaid ogres. Slayer ring, don't even know. This is for like warped creatures. This is for ghasts. Here you got, these items are all unlocked in the Dungeoneering shop. I'm gonna assume you just get them for free, because they mentioned that. And these are all configurable. These are for bones, seeds, and herbs. And you can select items. I'll show you the interface. Let's do it with herbs. And every box that sticks, if the item drops, it will be destroyed. And I get XP worth the the cleaning XP. I get XP for cleaning. You can get an upgrade in the manor farm for 20k beans. And then every item you don't destroy will automatically be sent to your inventory, including noted ones, I believe. Maybe not noted ones. No, I don't think noted ones. So that is pretty good. This is the same, of course, for the seed side as well, with seeds and the bone crusher, but instead of cleaning XP, here you get prayer XP, and if you wear an item like the demon horn necklace, you still get the prayer restore. I believe in old school it's behind the Mauritania diaries, if I'm not mistaken. An amulet that gives you prayer points back when you bury bones, but that's really great for Slayer as well, so you can infinitely keep that up. Seed aside as well, but it's more arbitrary how much XP you get per seed destroyed, but it works the same. Also an upgrade from Manor Farm to let them be put in your inventory. Charming Imp sends charms to your inventory once a monster drops them, used in summoning charms, by the way. And if you choose to destroy a charm, you get a little bit of summoning XP. Gold Accumulator picks up the gold automatically that monsters drop, but destroys 10% of it, sort of like a trade-off. And the Key Ring would be an item from the One Small Favor quest, and it can hold all your keys that you might need, like the brass key for the Edville dungeon. And here you got for the mining camp, the Taverley dungeon door, etc. I'm gonna assume you still need to get the key, but once you get it, you can just go in anywhere, so it's really nice. Invention items, you don't really think about these, but you get them in the invention tutorial. They just go immediately in your tool belt, you don't even think about them. But for example, your tool belt is your charge packs, what holds your charges. And without charges, your stuff doesn't function. But you never really look at this, like it's just, I guess, thematic reasons. And same with like the archaeologist tools. And we already talked about the Mattock. And all the other items are artifacts you restore, and then you can put them on your tool belt usually to pass maybe a barrier. You use your wingsuit to fly. There are parts in an excavation site where you have to walk sort of in the air. This is sort of a key used in that same dig site, etc., etc. Usually to like pass anything. I'm gonna assume you have all this unlocked. The Gate of Litness is unlocked. Usually this is locked behind a very long quest line. But you now only need to do the soul searching quest, which is a really short quest, which unlocks access to the island, which holds the access point to both the Sanctum of Rebirth and the Gate of Litness. So that's a nice early skilling boss you can go to. Tier 5, a multiplier of 8 times still. Ancient curses are unlocked. This is essentially an upgraded prayer book with most notably the Soul Split curse, which in endgame PvM, one of the big factors that determines if you're good, Soul Split flicking, so meaning you have a protection prayer up whenever the boss hits you, and you have Soul Split up all the other times. I mean, you get a lot of free healing whilst fighting your monsters. When assigned the Soul Reaper assignment, you can choose what you want. So this is once again the Reaper Point shop, but instead of asking you get a random boss assigned, you just get the menu and you can just pick whatever boss you want as long as it's unlocked. So that makes it even better, because that can basically guarantee that you can always do a task that you want to do. For example, a boss that you're farming currently for your setup, or a boss you know you can do, so it doesn't assign a boss you are unable to kill. Also unlocks Vorkath and a Masket. Vorkath is locked behind the same, is a little bit earlier in the quest line from the Gate of Litness, and a Masket is after the Gate of Litness even. A lot of quest requirements, so it's great that for the League they're just open, really cool. And Spellbook Swap, it's in a bit of a weird tier, but it allows you to swap prayers and spellbooks. I guess it's here so you can swap your ancient curses with the Sage, and you don't need to do the quest for curses anyways. So never mind, it's in a great tier. I am just yapping. Tier 6, 12 times XP multiplier, lovely. Ancient spellbook, so you don't need to do Desert Treasure, has a lot of nice spells. Also after Asanandra's quest, it does not say it unlocks all the spells immediately, but Asanandra's quest has some really nice ancient spells to add on top, which are used in endgame magic. But the fact that it's mentioned like this, I'm gonna assume you actually get those. Sorry, not Asanandra's city at Santistan. So not the temple at Santistan, but the city. You also get a lunar spellbook with most spells. Since they said most spells, I'm gonna assume in this case that that's not the lunar farm or wherever it's called. So you might need to do some of that if you want your disruption shield. All your Seren spells and prayers are unlocked. These are mostly skilling focused, but some other effects as well. Also locked behind the long quest line, the Light Within, which is essentially the entire Priv Dinas quest line. You also get the City of Priv Dinas passively unlocked as well, but it's not mentioned because it's not a tier bonus, it's just sort of a league bonus. And you get a Ring of Vigor passive. Ring of Vigor is an item you can buy from the Dungeoneering shop usually. And if you're wearing it, your ultimate abilities cost 10% less adrenaline and your special attacks 5% less. After the Extinction quest, you can make it passive, meaning you no longer need to wear it. You can wear whatever ring and the bonus still counts. But in the league, you can also just reach tier 6 and you just get it. You don't even need the ring, you just get the bonus. Boom, unlocked, let's go. Then at tier 7, we go to a massive 16 times XP multiplier. Boss drop rates go up to like 6 times more common, so that's really sick. Okay, advanced time. The passive is that there's no cooldown on this. Usually it is balanced by the fact that you can only cast this 3 times a week. But now in this league you can spam it. For the low cost of 15 cosmic runes and 20 time runes. Time runes for the old school gang are runes unlocked at level 100 rune crafting. Or earlier if you're using the Arania altar. Or the Arania altar perk. Or polishing if you're doing soul runes, but that's still like 92 I think, or level 90. So that's not really that much of a shortcut. And it's level 93 magic required, which I think is boostable. But it's really strong, so let's go through the effects. When you cast the spell, you basically get a menu with these options. Let's go through the effects. Archaeology complete, active research. Research is something in archaeology where you spend chronos and then your research team goes out and they come back with like broken artifacts, archaeology materials and experience. But now you can just instantly complete that. So if there's a task to do a certain amount of research in archaeology, you can just send it with this and it's going to be super awesome. Player owned port, complete all active voyages at once. This does not give you extra voyages, I think. So I'm not sure how useful it is. I don't think you can actually really get that far in ports this way. But maybe you can. Who knows? Might be nice, it's there. Managing miscellanea advanced by 1 day. So if you need some seeds, if you need like mahogany or teak logs, if you need tuna or swordfish for some reason, and like the other resources from miscellanea, it's like mainly mid-game. But there are Starbloom seeds as well if you pick the farming part, which are like tier 100 crafting materials for crafting. So that's pretty good. But yeah, you can essentially just go to miscellanea, throw it full of money, get 100% approval rating, send 1 day, 100 approval rating again, send 1 day, and just get the resources that way. It's really quick. Kind of reminiscent of the miscellanea compass from the last old school league. Anachronia base camp advanced by 1 day. This is something where you have workers and you set them to gather resources. And with those resources you build buildings, and those buildings give you passive boosts. Some to boost the Anachronia base camp building itself. Some actually bonuses to Anachronia, and some boosts to the entire game. Most notably probably is when you have the Slayer Lodge maxed, you can make a Slayer helmet stand, which gives you the bonuses of the Slayer helm you put on there like everywhere. You no longer need to wear it. And also actually in the Player Lodge, the Skill Cape stand, where you can just put the effect of the Skill Cape. Because in RS3 the Max Cape does not inherit all cape effects, it inherits 3, which you have to put in there. And then with Anachronia you get a 4th effect with the Player Lodge. But usually on Iron Man you would start this super early because it's time gated. But since you can just spam it now with this spell, you can probably leave it a bit till the end. Until you're ready to cast the spell and just rush through the entirety of Anachronia. This also, if you've done the Extinction quest, which you will have to do to get access to this, even though Ring of Vigor is passive. The Dream of Aya. This is where you can dump your axes Anachronia base camp resources, and you can farm XP from there. So you could actually spam this spell and get a lot of free XP from there. And those are some really good skills. Fishing is not that interesting, but it has like crafting, hunter, fletching, herblore, and construction. I might have missed one, but honestly, the fact that you can just spam them, I believe you need like level 75 in the skills, if I'm not mistaken, or 78. Something like that, like not even that high, and you can just basically spam them for free with 93 mage. Also keep in mind that 95% rune save chance with magic. So make the magic relic very nice for this. Next one is the Manor Farm and Anachronia Dinosaur Farm advanced time by 1 day. This means that your animals consume food for a full day, they grow up for a full day, and they also breed for 1 full day. And they cannot become diseased once cast. Oh, that's really good. However, you do not get your traders are not reset. So usually you would grow them up and then you sell them for beans, which is the currency. So you'll probably fill that camp really quick. And then you cannot sell your animals anymore. And then you might have the option of destroying your animals just so you can keep up your XP or whatever. But this might be a great method if you haven't picked the farming relic, because otherwise you can of course spam 3 seeds or something, go super fast. The Arc, this might actually become sort of an XP meta for a few skills. The Arc is in the Eastern Lands, it's an end game skilling zone. It has like stuff for like divination, mining, woodcutting, fishing, hunter, I believe technically cooking, but I'm not sure if you need to make those items for the contracts. But a contract is basically you ask for a contract and you sort of get a slayer or a hunter assignment, right, in old school, to do a certain amount of skilling, like chop this much bamboo, etc. And then you get some bonus XP on top. If this contract XP is boosted, that could actually be some really insane XP rates, like doing that skilling, handing in the contract. I believe you can do 3 a day, reset it, boom, and you just keep going. Red sandstone and crystal sandstone. These are mined and turned into flasks. They are limited a day. I believe you can get up to like 100 as a base, and there's some boosts as well. I believe you start at like 50, but then like with diaries you get more. But all that doesn't matter, because you can just reset it. So you mine the sandstone, you just reset it, boom. You can just get more, so you don't even have to do this as a daily. You can just absolutely spam it whenever you need them. You basically make flasks out of them, which can hold 6 doses of potion. And crystal flasks out of the crystal sandstone, which are used in combination potions in Priviness. Notable things are, for example, the Holy Overload, where you can use 4 doses of Overload and 4 doses of a Prayer Renewal, and it becomes a 6-dose potion which combines the effects. So yeah, this spell is going to be insane, and I can't wait to be tier 7 and blast through it. Alright, I'm sorry guys if I rushed through it a bit. As I said, I recorded it like 4 times. I kept messing everything up. I recorded it with my music still playing, then without NVIDIA broadcast, so the audio sounded terrible. Anyways, I hope you really enjoyed it. If you want to thank me for the effort, like drop a like, comment something, ask me a question. Next stream is on Thursday, so pop by if you can. And we're going to keep the daily videos up. As I said earlier, I'm planning to drop a route guide on Friday, most likely. Maybe Saturday, dependent on the information they reveal. And I'm also planning to make a full breakdown of all relics. So I expect it also on like either Saturday or Sunday. And of course, later in next week, we're going to start popping up the progress videos of the league. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Sorry that I yapped so long. Thanks so much for watching once again. And I see you tomorrow with the next reveal.